If you have been following my channel for some time, then you already know that on October 2nd, I implemented a 55-day challenge for myself where every day for 55 days, I come on and give you one simple, fairly easy, tangible tip to help you better navigate your mental health during menopause. On day 25, which I will do my best to link somewhere, still haven't figured that out. Anyway, day 25, my tip was to find one thing that you deem as positive or good about menopause. And a woman sent me a comment stating nothing. There's nothing good about menopause. And while I 100% felt her pain, feel her pain, and I get it completely, I did have to remember that yeah, this is challenging. And as hard as it is to find one thing and to focus on one thing, I still think it is possible and necessary. And in today's chat, I'm going to share with you what I think is positive or good about menopause and why I think so. But then I'm also going to leave you with a call to action, something to challenge yourself today, especially if you are in the thick of the heaviness of menopause, postmenopause. But before I go too much further, I want to pause here and welcome you. Thank you so much for stopping in. If this is your very first time finding my channel, I'm Mary and I'm so grateful that you are here. I started my menopause journey about 11 years ago when I was 44 years old. That is when I first started noticing that something was different about myself. I I don't necessarily have a whole lot of physical symptoms of menopause, meaning that, knock on wood, I have never had a hot flash. Mm-mm, I haven't. I have never had hot, like sweating in the middle of the night. Now I do get warm, okay, so I kind of get a little flushed, but I don't have hot flashes. So again, for me personally, my primary symptoms have not been so much physical as much as they have been mental and emotional. So going back to age 44, 11 years ago, I started noticing something different about my mood, about my energy level. Just yeah, there's something was different. And as a result, I advocated for myself. I pushed my doctor to test my hormones, even though he told me I was too young. And lo and behold, he was able to look at that time and see where, okay, yeah, so her estrogen, her progesterone, her testosterone, they're starting to get a little wonky. That's my word, not his. And so, Mary, you are officially perimenopausal. Although I didn't want to be perimenopausal, it was so validating because I just knew something was off. And ever since that day, 11 years ago, this has been one heck of a ride. So, yes, menopause, postmenopause, perimenopause, wherever you are, it is hard. It is challenging. There is some darkness to it. I did a whole video talking about how women in menopause have higher rates of depression and suicidal ideation. So, it is. It is tough and challenging. And my point of doing today's conversation is not to negate any of that. It is not to make light of anything that you may be experiencing. Because once again, I fully do understand it. I have had those really dark moments, those dark thoughts. While I have never been suicidal per se, I have had moments in time over the last 11 years when I thought to myself, how long is this gonna last? Because it sucks. So I've been there. And again, this is not to negate or take away from or make light of any of it. Rather, I am from the belief, and this is both the just person, the woman that I am, as well as 23 years of being a licensed mental health clinician. It's kind of a combination. I can't really separate those two parts of myself. I am just from the belief that our words are very, very powerful. And what we think, we become. And we have to be very, very careful what we tell ourselves, what we focus on, because it becomes our truth. It doesn't mean it is the truth, but it does mean that it is now our truth. And as a result, we are living that out. And I don't want that for you, friend. I don't want you living out negativity, anger, darkness, heaviness. I challenge you to still look for the one thing that is actually good and positive about going through menopause, about going through all of this stuff that we go through as women. So, I have one thing that I have come up with. Actually, there are two things, but I'm going to just focus on one. Um, One thing that I'm not going to focus on that I do think is good about menopause is I don't have a period. Praise Jesus. I love that. Y'all, I started my cycle when I was 12 years old, and I didn't finish my cycle until I was 54. So if you're doing the math, that's 42 years. Did I do that right? Yes. 42 years of having a cycle. So, yeah, I was super excited when all of that shut down. I did have a little bit of breakthrough bleeding with HRT, hormone replacement therapy, but that's all it was. It was breakthrough bleeding. It was not an actual period. So, yeah, I look at that as very, very good. But that's not the one thing that I want to focus on. This is what I want to focus on. One thing that menopause does for us is it helps us to care what other people think about us just a little bit less. So for me, I am a natural people pleaser. I am a natural peacemaker. And what that means is for the bulk of my life, I have cared way too much what people think of me, how I look, how I dress, how I act, how I live my life. Way, way too much emphasis. I gave way too much power to people when I was a teenager, 20s, and even into my 30s and early 40s. And so I like to scale things on a 10-point scale because it's just something, it's a great visualization, and it's just a way to kind of help me see the progress. So a 10-point scale, 10 is always going to be worse. I lived at like an 8, 9, 10, right? I kind of went up and down 8, 9, 10 for most of my life until I got into my late 40s and 50s. Now I can say confidently, I'm at a 5. And sometimes I'm at a 4. I kind of move up and down between 4 and 5. And while I'm still on the scale, meaning I do still care to some degree, I'm not here. I'm not living in the 8, 9, 10. That was exhausting. It is exhausting. And so to be at a 5 or a 4, amazing. Will I get to a 0? I don't know. Maybe I will if I live long enough. That is a possibility. But my goal is not to get to a 0. I just want to come down the scale and I want to care less and less about what people think about me when it does not matter because it's my life, not theirs, and I don't want to give them power anymore. And my friend, this is great and this happens. And I'm not implying that I feel this way because of menopause. I don't want to be confusing. Rather, I view it as something that is a derivative of menopause. It's this combination of I now have 55 years of life experience which does give me a little bit of wisdom, but it also helps me to look back on these 55 years of life and go, oh, okay, so it doesn't really matter if somebody agrees with me all the time. It doesn't really matter if someone looks at how I'm living my life and judges me and criticizes me. Okay, that is so freeing. I don't care as much if someone likes me. I still want people to like me, definitely, but I just don't care as much. I don't care as much if somebody's mad at me. Do I want people to be mad at me? No, but I just care a little bit less. I don't care as much if a client chooses to stop coming see me and finds another therapist. Once upon a time, I took that very personally. When I was in the early stages of my private practice, going back to 2006, 7, oh my gosh, if a client stopped coming to see me, I was like, what did I do? Oh my gosh, I suck at this. Like, I'm terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I immediately like made it about me and started getting in my head when 9 times out of 10, it's not about me. It is about them. Fast forward 23 years later, well, total. I've been a therapist for 23 years. But, at this point now where I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't want you to leave. I want to help you, but okay, obviously, I am not the counselor for you. And so, therefore, I'm going to be okay with you choosing to find another therapist. This has been a work in progress, but being in midlife and going through all of these changes biologically, mentally, and emotionally has really helped to strengthen those parts of me that used to care so much to care just a little bit less. My friend, if you are listening to this, watching this, and going, okay, well, sounds great, Mary. Good for you, but I'm still an 8. I haven't moved down that scale yet. Okay, so this is where my call to action, my challenge for you comes in. And it's this. Are you listening? Pay attention? Okay. When you decide to change the way that you look at menopause and all that it is bringing to your life, when you decide to change the way you look at it, then menopause will change. I'm going to say that again. If you change the way that you are looking at your menopause journey, your menopause journey will change. Now, I want to stop right here and kind of do a little sidebar. That change doesn't mean that you're literally changing menopause. Your body is still going to do what your body does. You can get on hormone replacement therapy to help boost your estrogen and your progesterone and your testosterone so you feel a little bit better. You can get on an SSRI so you have more serotonin and dopamine so you feel better. But none of it like changes menopause, right? So I know you're not stupid and you're probably like, duh. But I want to make sure that what I'm saying is understandable. When you're changing the way that you look at menopause, it's this. So I'm going to use actual lenses to illustrate what I'm saying. So these are my original lenses of looking at menopause. When I was in the thick of menopause symptoms and really struggling, these were the lenses I was looking at. It was really, really hard for me to see anything good or positive because I was looking through these lenses. But when I made the decision to change the way that I look at menopause, and I took those lenses off, and instead I put these lenses on, I now have a new lens, a new vision, a new way of looking at my menopause. And as a result of changing my viewpoint, my lens, I can now identify that which is actually good and positive about menopause. So, my friend, get rid of your old vision, your old lenses, and embrace the new ones. There is something good and or positive about what you are going through right now, but you are going to have to be intentional about finding it. It is not going to find you. It is not going to come knocking on your door. It's not going to drop you a post-it note or send you an email or a text message. You are going to have to be intentional about changing the way that you look at it so that it can change. I hope I have really driven that home and it makes sense to you. If there's anything that I have said that you disagree with, if there's a question or a comment or a concern, I sincerely welcome all of that in the comment section. And if you really enjoyed what I brought to the table today, then it would be so awesome if you would like my channel and then subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you will always know when I come on, which is every Monday. I drop a new video. And also share it. Hit the share button, hit the share link, and send it to her. Like, who needs to hear this message? Maybe it's your sister, your friend, your neighbor, your coworker, your niece. Like, find her, share it with her. I am super excited about this channel and where it's going. I got several new subscribers in a very short time. And while my number is still low, right? It's 21. I cannot express to you how happy and excited I am for all 21. And I want you to know that I am not doing this for me. YouTube is fun. Like, making all this is actually fun. I mean, it's a lot of work, don't get me wrong. And I'm still figuring out all the technology part of it. But I'm not doing this because I love seeing myself on camera or recording or editing, right? It's not at all. I am doing it for you, literally for you. Whether I know you on that side of the screen or I don't, I'm doing it for you. And a big part of this goal, this journey, this dream I have with this channel is to create a thriving community of like-minded women on the same journey. That's not the same, but similar enough to bring us together so that we can connect, we can come into community, and we can learn and we can grow, and we can be that much better for it. So once again, thank you sincerely for whatever you do. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all the above. I thank you. And I look forward to coming back next week for yet another video. And be sure to keep watching my shorts. So today is actually day 40. So technically, I have 15 more days to go on my 55-day challenge, and it has been a lot of fun. Yeah, be sure to check it out when you can, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.